Hello, this is Mrs. Brown, and today we're talking about measures of center. And measures of center are those things that describe the middle or center of the data. So there's three measures, and they all start with M that we'll be looking at, and that's the mean, the median, and the mode. So we're going to start with kind of the definitions. Remember, you can pause this and write it down. You don't have to rush. And then we'll look at a couple of different examples. So the mean is just the average of the numbers. To find that, you're going to add all the numbers together and then divide by the number of numbers you added together. So if I add 4 numbers together, I divide by 4. If I add 7 numbers together, I divide by 7. Okay. The median is the middle number. In order to find it, you have to put the numbers in order. If they're not in order, it's not likely to be correct. So make sure that you put the numbers in order, and then you're going to identify the middle number in that list. Now, if there's a single middle number, so you have an odd number of numbers, like 7 numbers, there's going to be 1 number in the middle. But if you have an even number of numbers, like say you only have 6 numbers, there's going to be 2 numbers in the middle. In that case, you're just going to average those 2 numbers. So add them together and divide by 2, and that will give you your median, okay? The median should be a single number when you're done. All right, and then the last one is the mode. It's the one that occurs the most often. And the way that I remember this, because sometimes it gets confusing about which one's that, is mode is the most because of mo. It starts with M-O and it is the one that is the most often. So mode is the most because of mo. And that's just a little trick I use to help me remember which one's the mode. So let's take a look at this. All right, so you can see I've already put my numbers in order, okay? But let's go ahead and we can do these in any order. Since they're already in order, let's go ahead and, I started right most. Let's go ahead and find the median. So remember, you have to have the numbers in order to find the median, and then it's the number that's in the middle. So the numbers are in order, and there's 5 numbers. 11 is the number in the middle because there's 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So the median is just 11, okay? Mode is the one that occurs the most often. So the one that occurs the most often, well, this only happens once, this only happens once, this only happens once, but there are 2 13s. It happens twice, so my mode is 13. Both of those are pretty straightforward and don't really require a lot of calculations. The mean, on the other hand, you have to start by adding the numbers up. So 7 plus 10 plus 11 plus 13 plus 13, divide that all by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 numbers, because I'm adding 5 numbers together. So you start by finding the total. So 7 plus 10 is 17. And actually, if I was adding this myself, I'd probably do 13 plus 7 first is 20, plus 10 more is 30. That would give me 41, and I still have a 13, which would be 54. So this is going to be 54 divided by 5 in order to calculate the mean. And you can either have this as a fraction or a decimal. So if I'm going to divide this out, 5 goes into 54 10 times, with 4 out of 5 left over. And if I wanted to keep dividing it, that decimal would give me 10.8. So again, in order to do that, remember, I can just do my division problem like this. Okay, it doesn't go in. I add a decimal point and a 0, so I can keep dividing. And 5 goes into 48 times. And so that's how I end up with 10.8. So either answer is correct, and that would be your median, or your mean, 10.8. Okay. Let's look at one more example. Okay, this marker is not working super well, so let's grab a new one. All right, so let's go through the same process. We got mean, median, and mode. Okay. I'm going to save the mean for last, and let's look at some of the other ones. We know that just by looking at it, we can figure out the mode. When I'm looking, there's only one of this. There's 2 5s, 1, 1, 1. So the mode is going to be 5 because it occurs twice and everything else only occurs once. The median, well, I've got 6 numbers, so there's actually 2 numbers in the middle. So in order to calculate the median this time, I'm going to add those 2 numbers together and divide by 2. So my median is 6.5. It's halfway between 5 and 8. That's what I was doing. I was finding the average of the middle two numbers. And yes, it's okay that there's a decimal there. Okay. All right. And so finally with the mean, I'm going to add them up. So 4 plus 5 plus 5 plus 8 plus 10 plus 11. Okay. This is 9 plus 11 is 20, 30, 38, and 43. And so I get 43 divided by 6. Now, I said in the last example, totally fraction or decimal. I would have this one as a fraction. The reason is 6 is not going to go evenly into 43. And if I do divide it, I'm going to get a repeating decimal. We can take a look at that. But 6 goes into 43 7 times with 1 left over. But if I do that division up, so I would write 7 and 1 6 is the mean. But if I do that division, what's going to happen is that's going to go in once. I get 6, which is 4. I put a 0. It's going to go in 6 times, which is 36, and I'm left with 4. And if I keep dividing, it's going to keep getting 6s over and over and over again. And so this is 7.16 repeating. And I could write it that way, but if I'm actually going to do calculations with it afterwards, like if I want to use it for something else, it's going to be much more useful as a fraction. Okay. I hope this helps. And if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Have a fabulous day.